Regan Slaymaker for Not Just Boxing, and I have the pleasure to be on by promoter Eddie Hearn. Eddie, I've just seen a previous interview, but a stacked undercard on Saturday night.
Stacked card. I mean, I think this card is deeper than the Atlantic Ocean, personally. Courtesy of Gunman Boxing. A really good night of boxing, actually, on Saturday. I think sometimes, obviously, we lost the Shabazz fight with McGrail, but replaced him with Baluta. I think anyone that knows boxing knows how good this card could be. A bit of a fight fans fight card, but you want entertainment at the moment, and there's a big kind of discussion point, isn't there, about styles and entertainment and fighting off the back foot and this. You ain't got to worry about that on Saturday. It will be full of action from start to finish.
Definitely. I mean, with the main event, Galal Yafai, Francisco Rodriguez, I mean, ordered fight by the WBC. I mean, it's very much from a Galal Yafai perspective, the fight before the fight, unlocking. Well, he's already got that mandatory position, but Taraji just around the corner, the unified.
Yeah, I think that people always talk about the development towards a world title. I think some people get there too quick. Some people don't quite have the test. I think if Galal gets through Saturday, there's no doubt that you can't say he doesn't deserve it and he's not ready for it. There's nowhere else to go. I do think this is a big banana skin of a fight. I think it's a very dangerous fight. I know Galal didn't like my comment, but I still stand by that. Sonny Edwards was a great win and it was a phenomenal performance, but he didn't have anywhere near the desire that Francisco Rodriguez has going into this fight. Now, we didn't know that till after, and I think Galal will feel like, feels like he's never really got the credit for that win because Sonny came out after and said, oh, well, my heart wasn't really in it, etc. But it was a great win. But this kid's built a little bit different at this stage to where Sonny was. And like, I know these guys, I know the manager, I know those kind of people. And when the kid pulls me to one side after the presser and says, thank you for the opportunity, I will give everything on Saturday, you better know he's coming. Do you know what I mean? And I thought like he might have beaten Ioka in that fight. I thought that Terraz's fight was great. He went 10 with Nakatani, not being like, he's a tough guy. If Galal was to stop him, it would be an incredible statement. You know, everything says a potential Yafai points win, but it's going to be a war.
Definitely saying the motivation. He's got that motivation, but after being unified champ as well. Obviously, Baluta comes in for against Peter McGrail. I mean, it feels like British boxing heritage at this point, the Everton Red Triangle versus Baluta. But if Peter does win, would we see that Masood fight rescheduled?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, I feel for Peter. You know, he had the Dennis McCann fight, obviously. Yeah, and then Shabazz. Like, he's accepting all these fights. And even, you know, when that fight fell through, I was gutted. But then Tom Dallas phoned up, he said, look, Baluta's up for it. And I was like, wow. What a replacement. And McGrail was like, bang, yes, no problem. So I think he deserves a lot of credit. And I think Pete's like at that stage where he feels like he can beat those guys and he wants to go on to win world titles. It's the same with Galal. If you can't beat Rodriguez Jr., you're not going to beat Tarajas. And if you can't beat Baluta, you're not going to win a world title. So you shouldn't really have the fear to do that. But Baluta obviously has beaten the two members of the team, drew with McCann as well, and is a dangerous fighter.
Definitely as well. I see the reports last night, Callum Smith, David Benavidez being planned for October. Is that about right?
Just discussions at the moment. I mean, look, Callum's got a tough decision between defending the interim title in Liverpool or in the Northwest and fighting David Benavidez, right? The deal's obviously got to be right for the David Benavidez fight, but Callum really has one thing he wants to do, and that's to become a two-division world champion. It's not easy, is it? You got Benavidez or Bivol. Take your pick. I mean, you know, like, but that's how it is. So over the next couple of weeks, we'll put a plan together for Callum, and there's a good chance that he could be fighting Benavidez next.
If he would defend that interim title, who are the likely opponents for Liverpool?
I don't know. I mean, you look at the rankings with the WBO. You've got Connor Wallace there in Australia, one of our guys. Khalilko coming off a good win. Zach Parker, I think he's number 3 with the WBO. I don't know. You know, like, at the end of the day, the level and the recognition of the opponent will translate into the size of the event. So for us, we want the best name possible. Now, the management might want the easiest fight possible, but also from the ranking, do you know what I mean? So that's an interesting thing for fans to kind of understand how it all works. Like, I will go to Callum's team and say, these are the 4 I like. It's quite unusual for the management to say, yeah, we like those 4 as well. Do you know what I mean? Because it's up to me to make the biggest show possible. but it's also about getting Callum ready, positioned for that shot at a World Championship.
Definitely as well. Jaron Ennis announced last night he's moving up to
Yeah.
154. I mean, could we see him go? Obviously, that fight with Ortiz was being flirted with at some point. Could we see him go straight into that? Or
We were asked if we take that fight for August 16th,
Okay.
which we said yes, but Virgil's not ready for August 16th. He will, as I understand it, be ready later in the year. I think we'll fight around August, September time ourselves, and then we're happy to fight Ortiz anytime. I think it's one of the best fights, not just in the division, but in boxing. I know it doesn't come with a world championship, but it's a great fight. So we have to find that opponent, that top 10 guy for August, September. If I said to you that I think Boots fighting Stanionis was at about 60% of his physical capabilities, honestly, when he goes to 54, people are going to get the fright of their life. Like you can see all week how depleted he is to make 47. And don't get me wrong, he recovers, but he says, I know, like when I'm sparring, it's just different. Like I'm still trying to recover from that week of making the weight. And now you're going to see him at 100%, and that extra £7, I feel very sorry for everybody in the 154-pound division.
Definitely. Final one. I see the football fixtures coming out. Tottenham are playing at home September 27th. That was kind of the rumoured date for BENN Eubank 2. Any update on where
the 20th works, October 4th works. I mean, we've been talking to His Excellency's team yesterday when the fixtures came out, and they'll make a decision on the date and the venue, but I think it's fairly imminent. I mean, I think it's 10 weeks this Saturday till September 20th, so almost time to head back to training camp.
Definitely looking forward to it, Eddie. Thank you very
Cheers,
much.
mate.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.